to episode 1, and we're going to be doing something that I said we wouldn't do, which is a sort of an instructional video. This is how we sort ourselves out for fishing trips. It's quite an important thing to do. It can be enjoyable as well, but it means you don't forget anything. We've all done it, and it's a pain when you get there and realise you've left the rods at home or the bait or something equally vital, and you've got a 100-mile drive to go back home again. So it's important to get this bit right. The two main considerations on sorting out a date to go fishing are the tide and the weather. We can do nothing about either, of course. We have to work at the university's speed. And unfortunately, like all of us, we have to work to be able to afford to go to fishing, so we have to fit fishing trips around that. So it restricts when you can go. It's much better to try and make the best of what you've got. When the storms come in from the southwest, like they have this winter, they tend to pummel the Channel coast of Kent and all the way up the Channel. So we find that if we go and escape the rough seas there and go to North Kent, we tend to be able to fish. So planning where you're going to go is quite important, but that's also key on the weather. If you can't see the bite, you can't catch the fish. If you can't cast out to them, you can't catch the fish. Okay, the next bit to decide is the tides. Obviously, you need to do some local research as to when the site the place you're going to go fishing from is best. So some places fish better from low to high and vice versa. There was a mystery about tides. Everyone seems to think they're really hard. 4 tides a day, 2 lows, 2 highs, and high to high is 12 hours apart roughly. So you can guess when the next day's ones is, but do look it up, otherwise it'll screw your chip up. Another thing that confuses matters is there's 2 sorts of tide. There are neap tides and spring tides. This is where a little bit of astronomy comes into fishing. That neap tides are where the sun and the earth and the moon are not in line. This is first quarter and third quarter phases. However, the neap tides are the smallest of the tides, so they don't go out very far and they don't come in very far, so the water's not terribly deep. There's not a lot of change in between high and low water. With spring tides, you get the earth, the sun and the moon lining up, or the moon, the earth and the sun lining up. So either at full moon or at new moon, so the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon add up, you get a really big tide, both low and high. These are the spring tides, and most people like to go fishing on those. So you can tell roughly when these are going to be happening by looking to when there's a full moon and a new moon in a calendar. Okay, now we've decided where we're going and when, we get to look at the next important stuff, is to make sure all the things we're going to need to take with us in terms of our tackle is ready to go and all in the boxes and there's nothing forgotten. So one of the most important things for us is the ability to have tea, coffee and stuff, and hot food. So make sure your stove is fueled and you have all the makings, your spoons and your plates and cups and stuff to cook on. Following that is your lighting. So once again, make sure your anchor lamp's full of fuel and your torches and lamps have batteries in them, and carry spares as well, so they always run out. Make sure that everything that should be in your tackle box is in there, clean and ready to go, and oiled in your case of your reels. And make sure all your rigs are retied, ready to go. Well, at the end of it all, this is just in a nice way of doing it. There is no right or wrong way of preparing for your trip, of course. It's up to you. However, it's just our way, and it works. We don't forget much. So I hope this has been interesting and useful, and see you next time.